Great to have you here.
Thank you so much for having me.
It's a pleasure. So tell us about your role at Facebook.
So I run global business marketing, which cuts across the entire portfolio of brands. So we do the marketing for Facebook, Instagram, Audience Network, Messenger, WhatsApp. But the customer segment or the customer base that I'm really focused on are advertisers, from the biggest advertisers to the smallest advertisers, agencies, partners, and then also the publisher ecosystem.
Wow, so that's an awful lot of stuff to manage.
Yes. Yeah.
Tell us about the team members that you have to have in place to make all that stuff happen efficiently.
Change management is extremely hard, especially when you are pitching something that is in the future and people can't feel today. And when you include in that things like process and structure and technology, none of that is sexy. But it is critically important to the future of being able to measure, optimize, and scale in real time and be the most personalized marketing organization for our customers in the future.
Sounds like with that kind of iteration and evolution, there's a lot of failure inherent in that. So how do you create a culture that's accepting of that? Because I think it's not natural for most people.
One of the core premises or principles of our organization is just start by starting. And so as long as you start by starting with tackling a challenge that you see, it doesn't matter whether it's fully successful or not. It matters that you tried and that you learned from whatever didn't work. So the way that we do that is, I'm very tactically, I host quarterly all hands where we celebrate the work and the accomplishments of the work, but we also celebrate the things that didn't work, so that people can learn from that and either not do the same thing again or make it better, because that first iteration or that first prototype gets us to a scaled operation at a later date.
You have this position that's aspirational for a lot of young people. I think there may even be some here watching us.
Yes.
So with them in mind, you're just starting your career, you're new in the industry, they look at you and they say, someday I'm going to be like Sarah. What advice do you have for them?
The first one is to be the master of your own education. I feel like companies, corporations absolutely have a responsibility to training and setting up training programs. But there is a World Wide Web out there that has so many resources and tools, so never wait for somebody else to come to you and train you. And I will give you a fabulous example of that. When I first joined and I wanted to build a global agency team, I had to write a business plan. I had never written a business plan before, and I typed into Google, how do you write a business plan? And there you go. You get like 75 templates of how you write a business plan. The second thing I would say is just to reiterate the point of start by starting. If you see something, like, just go after it, because most likely it's a blind spot inside of the company that you have identified and you're passionate about. So just start to create. And then the third thing I would say, and I can't emphasize this enough, is to be kind to all people at all levels. There are an incredible amount of very, very smart people in the world. And I have been asked to come back to 2 companies. One was an agency. I left and then was brought back, and one was Facebook. And I think that is totally based on how I made people feel at every single level in every single room. And so that would be my last piece of advice.
Some pretty good advice, huh? All right.
Thanks for joining us, too.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate it. That was terrific.